William here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. You know, about 2 days ago, I got a comment in the comment section of one of my videos that I did about at least 2 years ago. And someone, it was a lady, if I'm not mistaken, said, if white folks hate black people so much, why do they continue to date and sleep with black people? And, you know, I've been hearing people make this argument for years, especially online. I hear a lot of people try to make a good argument when it comes to this. And if you really think about it, it doesn't really matter, because it's not really a practical way of thinking. It's kind of a delusional way of thinking, if you really think about it. Because I don't know about you, but I've met thousands of women in my lifetime, and I still know a lot of them today, and from a lot of different cultures outside of the United States of America. And for the most part, sex don't really mean very much. Dating people, random people, doesn't mean very much for the average or the common man and common woman. It really doesn't. That's been my experience. Now, I hope you had a different experience than mine. But the average man and woman today, sex don't mean a damn thing. You know, so to say that just because you can hang out together, somebody might give you a hug, kiss on you, lick on you, suck on you, get on top of you, and do whatever they want to do, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything, really. And I haven't seen anything change in 20 years in society as far as people go, socially, economically, politically. I haven't seen anything change. Now, some people will say, or some people assume, just because it's so-called diversity, which doesn't exist either, that somehow just because you can go to the same restaurant, go to the same bank, go to the same water fountain, go to the same restroom, live in the same neighborhood, in some cases, go to the same parties, that somehow that's diversity. But no, that's not diversity. Diversity is when all the resources are shared amongst everyone equally, without discrimination or public policy or laws coming into play in any shape or form. That's real diversity. Diversity that people talk about on the news or in the mainstream media doesn't really exist. It's just a politically correct way of just talking. It's a talking head on the news. They're just talking about a small group of people that might be hanging out somewhere across the country or in some city. That doesn't really mean anything, you know. So and plus, having sex and dating people from other nationalities, that's been going on for forever. That's nothing new. A lot of people may think it's new, but my grandparents told me about that stuff. My uncles and my grandparents, my mom and dad told me about that stuff. And my uncles are in their 70s and 80s. And they told me plenty of stories. Plenty of things that they've done when they were my age or younger, growing up. And I remember, like, when I was 26, I'm like fresh out of the Navy at the time. And at the time I was visiting my cousin because I was deciding if I really wanted to stay in Charlotte or not. And I remember they had a neighbor that lived downstairs. She was smoking fire. She looked like one of those girls that you see in the videos today. But she was an older woman and petite at the time. And every once in a while, she used to always come upstairs and just hang out because she knew my cousin. So she used to hang out and, you know, flirt with me mainly. You know, she would say little things, little subtle things from time to time. And she was 10 years older than me at the time. So I remember, like, somehow she found out that my birthday was coming up. And she said something like, I remember this like it was yesterday. She said, I'm coming up here. She asked me what I was doing on my birthday. And I told her, I don't know. And she asked me if I was going to be here at my cousin's house. I said, yeah, I'll be here. And she's like, I'm coming up here and I'm going to break you off. And she gave me the day and the time and everything. And I just started laughing. I was like, oh, yeah, right. Right? So on the day of my birthday, she came up there. She came upstairs early in the morning, probably like 10 or 11 o'clock as soon as I got up. And she said, hey, I'll be back here at the time I told you, which was 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. She said, I'll be up here at 1 o'clock. I just got to make a run. And I'll come up here and I'm break you off, right? So I said, yeah, right, whatever. And she came back at 1 o'clock. She was dressed. Time for some action. And we did our thing, but that experience, that was the first time I ever ran into a woman that broke me off. And after the sex, it was like, well, hey, we done smashed now. You know, we don't got to hug and flirt no more and do any of that stuff. And that taught me a valuable lesson, that sex to some people, it doesn't mean very much. You know, of course, I experienced it in the Navy, but not to that extent, because she was bold. She was like a man, because you got to think about it. Up to that point that we got down sexually, we used to flirt, talk, chat, hug. She used to kiss me on the cheek and all that stuff. But when we had sex, all of that stopped. She barely came around. She didn't even call no more. She used to call every once in a while. She used to come upstairs and flirt and talk. But when we smashed, all of that was like, didn't really exist no more. And she said, hey, we don't gotta flirt no more. We don't gotta do any of that stuff. We done smashed now. So, hey, it's all good. And after my first time having that experience, the times afterwards that it happened, it didn't really bother me so much. You know, it didn't really bother me so much because I was kind of caught off guard anyway the first time. So the time after that, you know, it wasn't like a big deal. You know, I picked up on it afterwards because the first time I never saw it coming. Really, I thought if we smash that, I thought that, hey, we'd be cool or cordial, we get closer. You know, I wasn't looking for a relationship or anything like that. But I said, hey, maybe we can at least do something together, build something together, make some money together. You know, be kind of like allies or something like that. But no, that wasn't the case at all. You know, so I learned a valuable lesson that sex for most people, relationships for most people, or just socializing for most people, it doesn't really mean anything at all. Because people will get up out of that bed and they won't forget who they are at all. You know, they'll be like, hey, that was just sex. We had a good time. I'll see you the next time. Or it might not be no time. But hey, that is over. It's time for me to go. Go home or go to work, wherever they got to go. And that's it. That's why if I could go back in my 20s, I wouldn't put too much energy in meeting a bunch of women like I did back then. Most of my time would be spent getting the damn money. Getting the money would be my focus. And, you know, but I did what most guys do today. I started accumulating all this stuff. Get the car, the house, and clothes, the jewelry, all a bunch of crap that don't really mean anything. You can't make no money from none of this crap. You know, you can't make no money with no car. You can make money with a house, but most people aren't thinking like that anyway. You can't make no money with a bunch of clothes you buy unless you're in the fashion. Most people aren't thinking like that. You know, so you got guys that are just doing stuff basically to be more attractive for women and party and have fun or whatever. They're not really thinking about it. The money is not really the main focus. And the women, on the other hand, they're just thinking about getting picked up in most cases, or having a good time or whatever the case is. So if I could go back, I would, money would be my main focus. Really. I mean, sleeping with a bunch of women, meeting a bunch of women, doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't. I haven't really seen no progress amongst people in society between the different races and nationalities in 20 years. So it's really a joke. It really is. Sad but true. You know, and this is why I always say most guys, I'm going to say the average guy should just focus on getting the money and really try to find one woman that they can relate to. Don't even try to date out in other nationalities. Because what happens with most guys is they get all confused. And women too. A lot of men and women, they get all confused. They take on a persona of somebody that's not even them. You know, they find themselves basically losing themselves. You know, so it's just too much confusion. You know, they're chasing, a lot of men and women are chasing something or chasing a person that doesn't really exist because they bought into some illusion of that's presented to them within the mainstream media. So focus on the money. That's it, man. And everything else, it'll take care of itself. If it's meant to be, you know, it'll happen. But the odds of every man and woman having a successful relationship, the odds are against it. It's probably not going to happen for the common man and woman. That's just reality. You know, you might not like it. A lot of people might not like it. But for if you want me to say that every man and woman should have a successful relationship, and live happily ever after in the United States of America, I would be telling you the biggest lie on planet Earth. I would be just as worse as the people within the mainstream media, and they lie to you all day long. And a lot of people don't have a problem with that though, because the mainstream media, they want views, they want your attention, because they want ratings. That's what they care about. They don't care about your results. They don't care about you. I care about what happens to you. I care about your results. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here doing this. I would just continuously go and live my life and do what I've been doing for the past 20 years. Facts. So if you like what you heard, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends who care. And join my Players Club. And if you got any questions, click the link below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.